righty. Welcome to the Spin Zone, episode number 3 for season 3. And back again in the hosting chair is Mr. Steve Rodriguez. Steve, welcome
What's up,
back.
people? How you doing? Hey, thank you very much, Dan, for having me. You mean the co-host, not the host. You're the host.
Co-host. Yeah, I'm the
All right,
host, you're
there
the
we go. Yeah,
co-host.
yeah,
Yeah,
there we go. There it.
it's our first live daytime show
Yes, it
today.
is. Yes, it is, man.
Partly cuz I've got a busy schedule today.
You're always a busy person, so I like it when you make time for us, a peasant, all right, that
Commoners,
yeah,
commoners,
commoners, all right, that don't have a busy schedule, so all right, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I promise to get you an autograph. Don't worry.
All right, who as
And I'll
long as you
get you
want
an
something.
autograph from the other star that I'm going to see this afternoon, too.
The other star that you're gonna see, as long as it's not Elon, we're good.
No, it's not Elon. It's Captain
Awesome,
Bob. I'm going to be on his
awesome,
show
yeah,
this
man. Hey,
afternoon
awesome, man. What time?
at 1:30 on his show, not
Ooh,
on my show, on his show. So we'll see.
interesting.
Yeah. I'm
Right?
not sure what we're
But,
going to talk about, but I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about everything, including shrimp.
have you searched bubble jump? Right? Hey,
No,
they have fried shrimp. They have breaded shrimp. They
boiled
have.
shrimp.
See, you remember, right?
Yeah, I do. Bubba.
So what's up? What's on the show today?
Well, it's as it's a couple of weeks before training camp. It starts on the 25th of July and it goes for about 2 weeks. And as you know, training camp is make or break for a lot of guys out there. Uh, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and launch. Oh, really? Hold on one second.
What happened?
Hold on. Somebody is at my front door. Oh, FedEx. He can wait.
So you have all that money, the packages delivered.
No, no, no. I wish I did, right? I wish I had money. I am a poor, very poor podcaster, you know? I don't have a whole lot of money. But let me get my screens up and running. I hope they're the right screens. You know. But yeah, so it's the start of training camp, and obviously, it's going to be make or break for a lot of those players, and it'll be interesting to see, who makes the 53-man roster, and
Yes, it
who
will.
and who does not, right? So, let me get my screens on the screen here. And by the way, the chat lines are open for anybody that is wanting to chime in. So basically, once again, just like we talked about, we do have a new fearless leader. His name is Brian Schottheimer. He is the new head coach. He took over from Mike McCarthy back in January. Mike McCarthy moved on to greener pastures, so to speak. And Brian Schottheimer was the offensive coordinator. I think for the last 2 years, maybe a little longer, can't remember. But Mr. Schottenheimer is no. This is not his first time around the rodeo. He comes from a storied family of people involved in the NFL. His dad was a head coach for the Kansas City Chiefs for quite a long time. Mr. Schottenheimer, once again, is the head coach. He was the offensive coordinator after Mike McCarthy left. And he's got a history dating back all the way till 1997, where he started as an assistant coach for the St. Louis Rams. He was also with the Kansas City Chiefs, the Redskins, the San Diego Chargers, the New York Jets, the Rams once again in 2012, the Indianapolis Colts, the Seattle Seahawks, did a stint in Jacksonville, and of course, in 2022, he was hired as a consultant for Dallas. And then, after being a consultant for about a year, he was hired as the offensive coordinator back in 2023. And lo and behold, now with the departure of Mike McCarthy, he is the head coach this year. So
Yes, he is.
we have a new fearless leader. We'll see how things go. You know, a lot of times the head coaches are the ones that get blamed, right? And obviously the one in charge always gets blamed, right? Regardless of whether it's really their fault or not. But
It's always our fault, sir.
it's always their fault, right? It's
Right,
always
right.
their fault. So, you know, but we will see. We will see how he does. And of course, along with the new head coach, there are new coaches as well, both on the offensive line. And these are the guys that are the offense coaches on the offensive line. And as well as the defense side, we have new coaches, as most of you know. Dan Quinn left, and there are new coaches on the defense as well as special teams. And these are them. So, I guess I didn't get my animation right. Possible trades. Possible trades. As most of you know, Luke Schoonmaker is the talk of the town.
Yes,
There's a
he
lot of
is.
talk that, he's going to be traded. He hasn't done very well as a tight end. And so there is a possibility that Darnell Washington, the big talk is that they're trying to trade Luke Schoonmaker for Darnell Washington out of the Steelers. So that's going to be kind of interesting to see what happens there if Luke truly gets traded or not. There are some articles that say that he may not be traded. So we will see. But some article was saying it was too late to bring that guy from the Steelers over. So I'm not really sure how true that is. But the big question is, of course, Micah and his contract, right? Will he get a contract or won't he get a contract? Well, there's a possible obstacle this week that has come up with regards to him getting a contract. Apparently, Micah wants a 5-year contract worth about $40 million per season. That means that it's about $200 million overall over a total of 5 years.
He wants a 4-year contract. The Cowboys want a 5-year contract. That's what I've heard.
Well, end
Right?
result, I think it's only $200 million regardless.
Yeah. The overall is 200 million, but somebody wants a 4-year, and somebody else says nope. All we do is 5 years.
Oh, so he wants more than 200 million. Then he wants 220 million, right?
So something like that. Right? That's the
240 million.
latest. Yeah, I heard that last night on an email that I got. That was one of the obstacles.
Well, if he were granted his wish, right, this would make him the highest paid player in the NFL in history. Not even a quarterback is paid what this guy is getting paid.
Whoa, no, he hasn't gotten paid yet.
No. He hasn't gotten paid yet. But
Right.
if he were to get the contract that he wants,
Mm,
that would position him to be the highest paid player in the NFL. Not only
right.
that, but of course, his justification for this is that he has a career history of 52 sacks and is the leader in the Cowboys defense, which means
Right.
that if we were to lose Micah Parsons, it probably would be catastrophic for us.
Mm-hmm.
So Jerry's not going to have a choice but to dish out the casholia.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I think he'll play the gambit and he'll run the game. I don't. He's gonna run it off, in my opinion, to the last possible second.
Well, the only good thing about this is that Micah has shown up for minicamp, and he's promising to show up for training camp regardless whether there's a contract or not. Obviously, he did the same thing last year, right?
Right.
And stuck around the entire year. So there's a glimmer of hope in ensuring that he remains at least playing for right now.
Active.
But I think it's been a little too long with regards to his contract. He needs to get his contract finalized. I mean, it would really suck to be out there dangling, right?
Well,
for
hey, and one way you can see it, Dan, is he's auditioning for the money. Huh?
well, yeah.
And what happens when a person actually gets paid? Their performance goes down 98% of the time.
Well, that's true, right?
So,
They get
right?
lazy. They become fat
Hey,
cats.
oh, I already have the money. Sorry, right? It's guaranteed. It's a contract. So now I'll do one set here, one set there, and I'll be good, right?
Yeah,
So maybe that's what they're doing.
maybe. But then, how many teams out there with deep pockets are lining up
Oh
to
yeah,
pay this guy? I don't know.
and that's another one. The audition.
Yep. So I mean, I don't. Did Cooper Rush end up anywhere, or did he just get booted off? Booted off.
I think he got booted off.
Yeah. Well, he was another one, right? He was trying to play that game, right, where he thought somebody was going to pick him up, and at the end of the day, se quedó con las manos empty, right? So there is a little bit of.
Well, he went to the Ravens.
Oh, he did. He went
He's
to
a
the
quarterback with the
Ravens.
Ravens.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay. Never mind. I take it
You know
back.
what I'm saying?
Yep. I take it back. I take it back. I take it back. Maybe Micah is doing the right thing, right? I don't know. I mean,
Baltimore
obviously,
Ravens.
he's got to eat, right? He's got to eat, right? He's got to eat. The guy's got to eat. So what can we say? You know, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. Hopefully, he gets his contract finalized as soon as possible. We'll get this behind us and move on, right? Because I don't think I would even settle for another year of going without any kind of contract. It's kind of like dating and never getting
The ring.
the ring, like Beyonce says, put a ring on it, right? I mean, ahí lo tienen abierto, lo están usando, pero no hay el
Mhm.
ring, no hay el ring. So, by the way, I better put this back before I lose my mind. So, you know,
Uh,
I may not live through the remainder of the day.
all right, man. It was nice knowing you then. Yeah. I remember this as your last official podcast.
But like Beyonce says, put a ring on it, and that's what Micah is saying to Jerry. Put a ring on it, you know. So,
No, he's saying put some money.
well, I know, but it's part of the ring's part of the money, right? All right, and of course, just like we did last week, we looked at the roster, right? And there's a shitload of players on the roster, right? More than 80. So here's some of these guys on the active roster.
Everybody's auditioning for a spot.
Everybody's auditioning for a spot. And so we've got a couple of guys on there. I wasn't going to show these screens today, but
It's all good.
yeah, so we've got lots of guys on the roster, and they will eventually go down to 53 men in the end as we get closer and closer to training camp and as we get through training camp and after training camp. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to some of these guys,
Right.
as we, and of course, we've got unrestricted free agents as well on the roster, and those are those guys there. And we've got some cuts already. Denzel Jackson
Oh wow.
and Luke Barco and Justin Rogers. And we've got some undrafted free agents as well. Those are those guys there. I won't go through them.
Free agents.
And of course, our Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, like always. Now, did you know? And let me pull the screen up. I had no idea. I've been doing a lot of research, not only on
Oh,
the
I
players.
wonder why.
Now, hold on, let me get my AirPlay up and running.
Oh no.
Hold on one second. Hold on, I'm trying to get my AirPlay up and running. Hopefully it'll work. Come on, AirPlay, where are you? There we go. Come on. All right. AirPlay. Come on. Come on. There she is. All right. So, as always, our Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, America's sweethearts, as we call them, right? America's sweethearts. And once again, I had no idea. I really had no idea. I was like, wow, why didn't I know about this before? But they actually have a website. Our Dallas
Yeah,
Cowboy cheerleaders have a website.
that's old news.
No, I didn't know this.
Daniel Salinas, where have you been all your life?
No, I didn't know
Huh?
this. I didn't know they had a website. But
Yes,
obviously, have you been on there?
yes,
Nancy knows you go on there?
yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
One of Nancy's best friends tried out.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, they've got a website. They've got a website. And I
they
was
even
like,
have a show.
yeah, they've got several videos on here. I was like impressed.
No, they have a show, a TV show.
I
I
haven't
canceled
watched
it already, but hey, yeah,
They canceled it. Why?
yeah. They didn't have their own ratings.
You're kidding. They didn't have any ratings?
Yeah.
¿Qué onda con eso?
Hey, you weren't on there.
Well, I was a big fan of Baywatch, right,
Oh,
for a
fuck.
long time. But they've got videos and all kinds of stuff on here. I didn't even realize it. I was like,
Yeah.
so we're gonna make the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders a permanent part of our show.
Oh my.
Yep. Every week we're going to be providing an article regarding the coming and goings of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders and what's going on with them. And by the way, so for those of you out there that want to keep track of America's sweethearts, it is DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com. Once again, it's DallasCowboyCheerleaders.com. So if you guys want to get the latest on America's sweethearts and what they're up to or what they're going through, they've got a website out there for anybody that is interested in ensuring that they're taken care of, obviously.
Yes.
So anyway, so I just wanted to mention that they have a website out there, and of course, once again, it's DallasCowboysCheerleaders.com. But that wasn't the whole point of our segment today regarding the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. I was in shock, extremely in shock and disappointed to find out that these poor girls, okay, are having
Poor girls?
Yes, these poor girls. Believe it or not, there's a pom-pom controversy this week. These poor girls are going through torture. And it has to do with Abby Summers, one of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. She put out a TikTok video. Did you watch the TikTok video?
No, I did not.
Pobrecita. She was getting arthritis, la pobre. Hey, Hash Brown, how are you doing?
He heard the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. He had honestly.
Hey, Hash Brown. So poor Abby Summers, okay, one of the cheerleaders for the Dallas Cowboys, did a TikTok video, and she was complaining because the poor girl was getting arthritis, okay? Se le estaban crimpeando las manos, if that's a word. And it all has to do with the fact that the poor girls, the cheerleaders, have to fluff their own pom-poms before a game.
And what's the problem with that?
The problem is that's a lot of work. If you looked at the TikTok video that she put out there, that poor girl, it was a lot of work. And so the idea is that they should have some professional be able to fluff their pom-poms. Not only that, the other unthinkable thing is that they are expected to wash their own uniforms. Jerry won't send their uniforms out to the dry cleaners. Las pobres tienen que estar con el tallador, ahí, con el tallador las pobres, quebrándose las uñas. I mean, these poor girls spend hundreds of dollars to get their nails taken care of, and they got to make sure that their skin doesn't dry off with all that bad laundry detergent. And Jerry can't even spend a few bucks and take their uniforms over to the dry cleaners. I mean, this is a $1 billion organization. They should be able to
And that's why they're a
take.
$1 billion organization, because they don't have to spend on extra stuff. All right.
Pobrecitas, se van a quebrar las uñas. I mean, estas nunca han visto un tallador, let alone a washing machine.
So then,
I mean, they probably don't even know what laundry detergent to buy.
oh my God! Now you are deflaming the
No,
Dallas
no, 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 no,
Cowboy
no, no, no,
cheerleaders.
no. It's the truth. I mean, there's
No.
differences in laundry detergent, right? I mean, do you want to go with the old powder that grandma used to use? God forbid.
Why? That's what I use.
No, 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 no. That's not good.
Who
Powder
said?
is not good. It messes up the machine, especially if your machine is an H2E branded machine.
Those are only for rich
No,
people.
no, 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 no. Any washing machine from like the 2000s over is H2E compliant, which
I have no
means
idea.
that you just can't use any powder. You
You
can't
can use whatever
you
you
can't
want.
use Ariel from across
Why
because
not?
it's kind of like using sandpaper, right?
No, it's not. That's the best cleaning agent there is.
So, I mean, las pobres no saben the difference between powder-based detergent or liquid-based detergent, which is what I use. Or
You
the
don't
little
know? You don't think
pods.
they know the difference? I think they do.
No, pobrecitas, they don't know that
Hmm.
kind of stuff.
Wow.
So, bottom line is, I believe that Jerry needs to dish out the casholia, at least to take care of their uniforms. After all, they're in them every Sunday, right? Or Monday, or Thursday, right? I mean, ¿para qué las quiere que tengan los uniforms todos mugrosos? Of course not. They sweat.
What have they washed them?
Because that's not their job.
What do you mean? It's part of your job.
If you're $1 billion organization, you should be able
No,
to.
the Dallas Cowboys are $1 billion. The Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders are a separate organization. All right. So Jerry's not in charge of
They're
them.
part of the they're part of the team.
No, 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 no. So no, the Cowboys are one. The cheerleaders are another. They support the team.
And this thing about fluffing their pom poms, I mean, come on, pobrecitas,
What's
they're
all
gonna
that?
get arthritis.
Oh my God! So how did the females do it years past?
Well, hold on, because let's go back to my iPhone here for a second, okay? I'll show you what those they looked like. Give me a second here. I was in shock. Hold on. Let me get back to that. So let's go over to history.
You scoured that site left and right, haven't you?
I didn't. Mira. That's
awesome.
That's what the Cowboys.
Awesome.
That's what the Cowboy cheerleaders looked like back in the 1960s. Se parecían como monjas.
Hey, what's wrong with that?
Mira. No, hombre. It wasn't that I was looking. Okay, I wasn't.
No,
looking.
I can tell. I can tell you
I
weren't.
wasn't looking.
You've
But
done your
those
research.
are definitely modern day cheerleaders. That's for
You've
sure.
done your research, huh?
No, I just ran across it.
Does-
Like I said, as of today, I had no.
Does your wife know that you're looking at this website?
No, I mean it's a public.
She doesn't know,
website.
right?
It's
Yep,
a
she doesn't know.
website, But think about it. I mean, mira, como se miraban back then. No.
What? They look nice.
No. I mean, a nun would look better than that.
Man.
But anyway, bottom line is these poor girls. I mean, come on, Jerry, don't be pinche. Come on, give them their, get them their uniforms washed
Do
professionally.
you want to apply for that job, Jen? That's what it sounds like.
Well, I don't know about washing, but maybe fluffing the pom poms.
Fluffing the pom poms. Are you talking about pom poms or something else? Huh?
No,
What else
we're
do you
talking
want to
about
fluff?
pom poms here. We're talking about pom poms, okay?
What else do you want to fluff?
I'm not fluffing anything. Come on. I'm just saying, come on. You know, nothing wrong, but America's sweethearts are breaking their nails. They're getting skin their hands on their skin scaled from all the scalding water and the bad laundry detergent because they've got to wash their own uniforms when Jerry could just dish out a few $100s and get all their uniforms taken care of, you know. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Not to you. Not to you. All right.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, the cheerleaders are going to be a permanent fixture on the spin zone. You know. So, but that is the controversy of the week when it comes to our
Wow.
cheerleaders.
She should
And
be
of
fired.
course, and of course, preseason. All
Yeah,
right.
well, what is it?
It is starting August 9th, week 1, 6 p.m. They are going to play the Los Angeles Rams at SoFi Stadium. There is no announcement yet as to who is going to broadcast that, but it will be at 6 p.m. Central Time, which is, I think, what, 8 p.m. No, I'm sorry.
Central.
They're behind us, right?
Right.
So it's 4 p.m. Pacific Time.
Yes.
And then week 2, August 16th, also a 6 p.m. game. They're going to play Baltimore, and Baltimore is actually coming over to Dallas. That's going to be a home game. And that's also unannounced as far as who and where is going to be broadcasted. And then, of course, week 3, August 22nd, that's a 7 p.m. That's also going to be a home game here at AT&T Stadium, where they're going to meet up with the Atlanta Falcons, and that is in week 3 of preseason, and that's the end. There's only 3 games. And of course, starting with the regular season, week 1 is September 4th, and that is the week that we announce the winner of the Dallas Cowboy jersey. That will be
Yes, sir.
during halftime. And that game will be between the Philadelphia Eagles. It will be an away game, and that's going to be at 7:20 p.m. That is going to be broadcasted on NBC. For those of you that are off the air, that's 23-1. And for those rich guys like Steve that can afford cable, that's
I don't
channel
have cable.
8. So,
I have the antenna outside.
okay. So you're poor just like me.
I'm more important than you, sir.
So, week 2. Week 2 is September 14th. And that is a home game, and the New York Giants visit Dallas. And that is at 12 p.m. So for those of you at church, make sure to skedaddle your way back home early so that you can catch the opening kickoff between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants at 12 p.m. Central Time. That's going to be broadcasted on your local Fox affiliate, which in this case is Channel 6 for those rich guys that can afford Spectrum. And for the rest of us poor people, I believe it is, what, 47-1?
Something like that.
Something like that. Or maybe 60-1, I can't remember. And of course, week 3 is September 21st of September. It's a 3:25 game. That is at Soldier Field in Chicago, where they'll meet up with the Chicago Bears. And that's going to be also broadcasted on Fox. We probably will not get to see that game. I'm hoping we're able to. Well, we should be able to see the NBC, but I don't know about that game. I'm not really sure about the Chicago game. We'll see what happens. You know, there is one of those games we're not going to be able to see. I don't know which one it is at this point. And of course, like always, we have got a giveaway this year.
There you go.
Free giveaway for an official Dallas Cowboy jersey. And just like last year, you have the choice of either a Dak Prescott, a CeeDee Lamb, and hopefully a Micah Parsons if he gets a contract, right? And in addition, this year, we will allow you to actually have a customized jersey with your name and your favorite number. And what does it take? Well, we said once again, it's free. It's completely free. So what's the catch?
Yeah, what's the catch, Dan?
Well, there is no catch. Basically, there's a couple of caveats. One is you must be a public follower, okay? A public follower. And you must be a public follower to both the Brownsville Tech Live Facebook page as well as the 956 Live page. You must be a subscriber to both. When you subscribe to both, we will verify that you are a subscriber, a public subscriber, and you will be automatically entered into the giveaway. And then during halftime on September 4th, we will announce that lucky individual who will get to wear their jersey for the entire year until we get to the Super Bowl in February.
Yes,
So
sir.
be sure for those of you out there that have not. By the way, Jaime Martinez, thank you for joining. He is a Broncos fan, so
Hey,
so nothing wrong with that, you know, nothing wrong with that. So, but be sure to get out there and get an opportunity to win this jersey. It is an authentic jersey. It is
hey, you
manufactured by
wanna
Nike.
have you show how people become public or private followers? Is that possible?
You know what? I did find a setting, but I'm not ready yet to show the
All right.
setting. We'll do that
Because
next
I
week.
don't think Jaime Martinez is following on both.
Well, it's very simple. You just do a search for Brownsville Tech Live. When you get there, there'll be a button called follow. So you click on that button called follow.
Yeah, but how do you know if you're public or private?
Well, there is some settings.
Uh huh.
I don't know if let me see. Let me see if I can.
No, no, yeah, yeah, we'll do it at a later time, but
Yeah,
that
we'll
way
do
for
that
you.
next week. I will be a little bit more prepared. I was researching how to do it. I did find the setting, but I'm not ready yet to kind of illustrate how it's done. So
Yes, I Jaime. Hey, if you win, you'll get your blue jersey, all right,
that's
with your
right.
name on it.
That's right. So, but anyway, that is basically it for this week. We'll be back next week for episode number 4 of the Spin Zone. Once again, where we're covering everything with regards to Dallas, the players, the mini camp, the training camp, excuse me, coming up, and of course, who's going to end up on the 53-man roster. And
Yes,
now we're
sir.
going to be tracking America's sweethearts each and every week, making sure that they're taken care of like they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
So
I volunteer you to go fluff their pom poms or whatever they want fluffed.
I'm not sure. What I saw from that video is it's not easy work. That poor girl was getting arthritis fluffing her pom
I
poms.
like the way you go head first.
Anyway, all righty, everybody. Well, y'all have a great, great 4th of July holiday. And once again, we have another show tonight. This time it's Doug's Dugout, where we're going to go over everything with what's going on in the MLB, including the Astros and his Redbirds and everybody else as well. So be sure to tune into that at 9 p.m. Hope everybody has a great 4th of July weekend. Stay safe,
Enjoy.
stay inside, or wear sunscreen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Enjoy.
Bye bye, everybody.
Adios.
All righty. Give me a second here. Yeah, so
I tell you, man. See the trouble you get yourself in?
I can just see some of these the Susan Rubalcalas of the world probably all upset at me because I'm
Mhm.
talking about these girls, right?